Chapter 18. Taz, dear, we have a stowaway. Kayla looked up into the grandmotherly face she'd seen in the restaurant. What? Taz snapped without slowing. The woman shot Kayla a quick smile, then shifted her attention to the back windshield. They're not even chasing us, dear. The car slowed to a less breathtaking speed. Thank goodness, the woman said. We'd never have outrun them in this old hybrid. Kayla lifted herself up onto the back seat. Now who the hell is this, Mava? Taz demanded. Who are you, dear? Mava asked Kayla. Kayla felt delighted and a little amused that the woman didn't seem particularly alarmed or angry to find her in their car. My name is... She began and then remembered that they'd been in the eatery and might have seen the news report. Amber Thorne. Nice to meet you. Are the global officers after you? Kayla asked. I heard the sirens and all. Yes, Amber dear, yes, I'm afraid they are. Mava replied. Are they after you too? Suddenly, Kayla felt like laughing. This was so bizarre. Yes, she said, they're after me. And why is that? Mava asked. They think I set my house on fire, she answered, unable to lie to this open, direct woman. They think that I did it to kill my mother, but I didn't. I swear I didn't. She set the house on fire when she tried to burn her tattoo off her wrist. Oh my goodness, Mava sympathized, her bright blue eyes glowing dark. That's terrible. You poor thing. She reached out, and her eyes fixed on Kayla's red, burned hand and wrist where it smeared of black lines. She said nothing but just squeezed Kayla's hand. The kind, motherly gesture brought tears of gratitude to Kayla's eyes, but she was distracted by Mava's wrist, which bore a red, twisted scar. Mava smiled sadly. Taz and I also removed our tattoos. I understand what your mother must have been feeling, she explained with the same lovely calmness that characterized her whole speech pattern. However, we used acid. That was awful enough, let me tell you. Oh, so painful. But we know too many people who have done terrible damage with fires. Yeah, they had TMB, Taz said, shouting like a person who was hard of hearing. Do you mean TMP? Tattoo mania psychosis, Kayla recalled. No, I mean TMB, too much bull. That's what this Global One business is, and it doesn't take smart people a long time to figure it out. Acid seems to be the best way to go, Mava went on. How's your hip doing? Taz asked Mava. She patted his shoulder lovingly. Barely a twinge today. She turned to Kayla. I fell and broke my hip a while back. We don't dare go to the hospital because once you're over 80, I was 81 last January. You don't come out of the hospital. What do you mean, Kayla asked. I know a lot of people in their 80s who have had operations and then come out. My friend Amber's grandmother was 85 last year and had her appendix removed and was fine afterwards. Aren't you, Amber? Mava asked. Oh, sorry, I lied. I'm Kayla. Oh, I see. Well, things have changed since last year. No one talks about it, but old people know that doctors now slip you something and say you died in your sleep. The insurance companies encourage them to do it because nursing homes have become too expensive. Our daughter is a doctor. She told us all about it. That's horrible, Kayla said. We certainly thought so. Our Sarah won't do it, and it's made things very difficult for her. She's relocated to Toronto where the barcode isn't the law. Sarah set my hip before she left, and it's doing quite well. Why were the global officers after you? Kayla asked. We didn't pay for our breakfast. We can't. No money left in our e-cards. We're headed up to Toronto to see Sarah, and they will still use cash there. You know, where are you headed? I want to join a resistance group in the Adirondack Mountains. That's right on our way. We can drop you. But do you mind if we stop at Sarah's apartment first? She left in a hurry, and we said we'd pick things up for her. Do you mind? No, not at all. Thank you. Kayla curled up in the small back seat and let the car rock her. She imagined being a baby in a cradle, rocked by a loving hand, back and forth, back and... ... They are inside the city now, glass and steel buildings towering, making her feel like a mouse running along a baseboard. It's intimidating. It's probably meant to be. The wide boulevard swarm with people. She reaches out and takes the hand of the young man beside her. Scared, he asks. Only she hears his voice in his mind, and she nods. He rubs her shoulders. Don't be. This will work. ... A bump in the road rocked her from her vision. Sitting up, she saw they were approaching a toll. Belt up and get as low as you can, Taz told them. Why? Kayla asked. What's... Taz sped up, driving the car to its 140-mile-per-hour limit. Kayla was knocked down again into her seat. It was probably best to stay down, as Taz directed, so she covered her head and drew herself tightly into a ball. "Woohoo!" Taz shouted triumphantly as he blasted through the bar, blocking his way at the toll booth. Kayla saw shards of wood fly up in all directions. An alarm whooped, but Taz never let up on the gas pedal. A global officer siren started up. "Stay down," Taz shouted to them. "I've got a good lead, and the turnoff's in 2 miles. Taz drove at full speed all the way to the exit he wanted. He raced straight through a clump of trees, slammed on the brakes, and shut the engine. The global officers raced on, pulling straight up the Superlink. Taz chuckled gleefully. "Fine driving, dear." Mava praised him. "How are you feeling?" "Perfectly fine," he said gruffly. "Stop worrying. I've never been better." "Taz had a heart attack last year," Mava told Kayla. "Thank God it was last year and not this year. My heart is in perfect condition now." Taz growled as he started the car, and they pulled out of the trees back onto the exit ramp. "These little hybrids were good cars in their day. I don't know why they stopped making them." Mava sighed. "The big oil companies didn't want people to stop using gas, I suppose." They drove to Albany, straight to the modern apartment building where Sarah had lived. When Mava shut the lobby door behind them, Kayla felt safe for the first time in days. Inside, Taz unlocked the door of an apartment. "She certainly did leave quickly," Mava commented as she stepped into the living room. A lamp still lit the beige modern furniture. A cup of coffee stood half full on the sleek glass coffee table. "Make yourself at home," Mava told her. "The shower's just down the hall." In the bathroom, it felt good to peel off her filthy clothing. Kayla stepped into the warm, flowing stream of the shower, and never before had she felt so blessed to be washed clean, to have her shoulders thumped by water. She pressed her body into the tile wall and let the water run down her aching body. Sarah had left all of her toiletries behind, so when Kayla was done, she stepped out and let the clean, thick towels mop the wetness from her body. She slipped into the white terry cloth robe that hung on the back of the door and used Sarah's deodorant and moisture creams. She used a bath oil to wipe away the last of the fake tattoo. Only a few days ago, she'd taken these things for granted. Now they seemed like lovely and rare luxuries. As she stepped out of the bathroom, Mava came towards her with scissors. "How would you feel about a haircut?" she asked. "It would make you less identifiable. I'm pretty good at it." Kayla fingered her wet hair. "Okay," she agreed. She sat at a vanity in Sarah's elegant bedroom when Mava cut, catching the hair on a towel at her feet. Kayla, worried that an 81-year-old woman might have a shaky grip on the scissors, wore a scowl of concern throughout the cut. When the blow-dry was done, Kayla examined the short, wispy result. Her hazel eyes appeared to be nearly twice their size. "Do you like it?" Mava asked. "I think it looks wonderful on you. It will be easy to take care of." "I look like a different person," Kayla said slowly. Mava squeezed her shoulder. "Maybe that's as it should be." She opened a closet packed with clothes and tossed outfits onto the bed. "I'm sure it has already taken the things she really wants. She recently gained some weight. These things might not even fit her anymore. You can have whatever clothing you like." Sarah's clothing included the latest neon colors, but somehow Kayla wasn't in the mood for them anymore. Instead, she put on a pair of black stretchy pants that fit her perfectly. A long-sleeved silver shirt trimmed in bright pink was her next choice. Sarah's black hiking boots were exactly her size. "Who would have guessed that you're such a beautiful girl?" Mava commented when Kayla was dressed. Kayla smiled at her. "Thank you. Does Sarah have a computer I could use?" May 23rd, 2025. Dr. S at globalnet.planet. 2. AT, cybercafe17 at globalnet.planet. This message is for Amber Thorne. I don't know if she's there right now. If someone gets it, could you please keep it for her? Maybe you could leave it behind the counter or something. Amber, you might have heard some news about me. It's not true, and I am fine. I miss you. I hope you are well and that your Aunt Miserable isn't driving you too nuts. Love, Kay. From Dr. S to M.F. Taylor. Everything you read about me is a lie. I am okay, but I won't be back. I hope that somehow, someday we meet again. I am grateful for your friendship. Don't trust Ezekiel. He and Nedra are spies for Tattoo Generation. Please pass this info on to Allison and August. Your friend Kay. From Mofumbi Taylor to Dr. S. Thank God our son isn't with you. At least he's not in as much trouble as that. He disappeared the same night you set your house on fire. We are sick with worry. If you have any ideas where he is, please contact us.